It's DORA time. European financial companies must be DORA compliant by January 17th, 2025. I'm sitting here today with Carsten. Carsten is an expert in cyber and information technology with Vexec, one of the leading consultant companies. So, Carsten, tell me, everybody knows that DORA has to be implemented by January 17th, 2025. And still there are some companies struggling with basic questions like where to start, what to do, and how long will it take?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, we know DORA. We have done a number of projects already in that area. And this is the main point you're mentioning is indeed this complex area, where to start, what to do. We see the efforts they're putting in there, but sometimes they're just running in the wrong direction. And I think we can help with that.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning. What does DORA stand for? And who's affected by that?
DORA. DORA means Digital Operational Resilience Act.
Wow, that sounds wild.
Well, it sounds wild, but at the end of the day, it's an IT security management system. So if you know what to do, it's not that wild as the name suggests. And to answer the second part of your question, DORA applies to all financial companies in the European Union, which means not only banks, but also, for example, insurance companies.
Okay, thank you. You just told me when you know what to do, it's an easy step. So tell me what to do.
Well, let's take a look, as you said, what has to be done. And DORA is about resilience, as the name already says. And I would say there are four main areas, four main pillars that we have to look at there. Let's go through them quickly. The first one being a governance framework. So that means that it's the whole company has to be involved. It's not only top management or only operations or whatever. It's the whole company that has to fulfill the requirements and has to work according to them. The second one is that you have to take a risk-based approach, a risk-based implementation of the measurements you have to do. The second part is that you have to do a risk-based implementation. So all the measures that you are doing need to be based on risk assessments. And that includes also some reporting lines that need to be there, you know. The third part is about suppliers. So every person, every company providing services to the organization needs to be assessed according to the DORA requirements. And that includes cloud providers, sub-suppliers, all that bunch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the fourth part is, let's say, the IT security part. It's vulnerability management, it's pen testing, the whole, everything you need to see to have your IT system secure.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work. And I hear business owner saying something like, sounds like my certified information security management system. Isn't that enough?
Indeed, that's a question we hear very often. And unfortunately, the answer to that is a simple no, it's not enough. The reason being that the DORA requirements are way broader than the pure information security requirements.
Okay, makes sense. What else do you have to consider?
Well, if at this point you're not really near to the finish line, you have to consider to seek some assistance, I think. Imagine you're going into a new city, a new area, you're driving through streets you've never been to. So in a car, what would you use there to find your destination?
Of course, my navigation system.
You see, and we can be the navigation system through the DORA jungle.
Oh, wow, that sounds logical to me. Tell me, what kind of advice would you give someone who wants to avoid fines or penalties?
Well, the first advice is definitely keep in mind that this date, this 17th January 2025, it's not an option, it's a deadline. You have to be compliant by that date. So if you're still in the starting stages, I think the first thing you need to do is to see where do you stand. So do a gap assessment, and that as I said, includes where do you stand, what do you already fulfill, and what do you need to do to be compliant.
Okay, so if I want to do that gap assessment, what are the next steps?
Well, I would suggest get in touch with us, either through the link underneath this video or through the email hello@vexec.com, and then we'll see what we can do for you.
Thank you so much, Carsten, for taking the time. And I'm looking forward to see you next time.
Thank you.